TIFU by living in a dark room for 6 years. The overhead fan in our bedroom uses one of those compact halogen light bulbs. 6 years ago the bulb burned out and got really dim, just barely aglow. I bought a replacement bulb, but when I put that one in it was also barely lighting up, so I realized the unit was bad. The fan still worked great. It literally is the best fan I've ever had because it moves a ton of air and is super quiet. The fan had also been a gift when we moved into our house. The unit cost over $400, so I didn't really want to replace it, even though our bedroom doesn't get much natural light, so it is pretty dark. So since then, over the years, my wife and I have had to make do with no overhead light. We open the windows during the day, and at night use a combination of bedside lamps and the bathroom light. It's never really as good of lighting as an overhead lamp, so I keep some flashlights up there for when we are cleaning or looking for something, etc. After 6 years of living in the dark, this winter I just decided I would replace the damn thing. But before I did, I decided to try one last time with another bulb because, however unlikely, it's possible both bulbs I had tried were bad. So I'm up there installing the new bulb. Grab the remote, the fan has a remote, and as I'm turning the light on I realize the goddamn thing is dimmable. For 6 stucking years we lived with the inconvenience of no overhead light, and the whole time it was just because the damn thing was set to dim. Duck me. For 6 years I lived with no bedroom light because the overhead lamp was broken, but turns out it was fine and it was just set to a dim setting the whole time. OMGU/Moby323 thank you. We moved into a new house several months ago. The ceiling fan light in my office works but wasn't bright enough. I've just been ignoring it. Your post inspired me to see if it was dimmed. It was in fact dimmed. Much better now. Edit, many people have asked, so I will explain that the remote control has 2 buttons for the light. I assumed one would brighten and one would dim. But they both toggle. Odd, but I ignored it. Turns out if you hold the button it changes brightness. From the replies, it seems that standard behavior is a single light button that cycles through brightness. This one, the button you choose determines the direction it starts in when cycling brightness. Also, thank you for the gilding, kind strangers. Did y'all know that gold comes with a week of premium? I didn't. That's pretty kick-ass. Also 100 coins, which is enough to give silver. Nice. Holy hit lol. It's a Reddit miracle. Reddit. Bringing life-changing help to those who need it most.
I'm gonna be honest. I totally thought this would end in you finding a huge spider's web or rat's nest or a mass of cockroaches or something when you changed your light. I'm glad it wasn't. Your result was a lot more wholesome. I thought it was going to be a fire caused by ignoring a long-term electrical problem. I was thinking the same thing. I can't be the only one who thought that at the end up was going to end up accidentally turning the fan on whilst up the ladder with their head in between the blades. To clarify, I was relieved when the story ended without this happening. I'm not a monster. Nothing would have happened though. The blade would have just lightly touched him and stopped.
Glad I didn't wait 6 years to figure that one out when we bought a house. It only took my 5-year-old 2 months to tell us what the problem was. After he finished securing the Wi-Fi router, and also setting up the media server to stream Baby Shark and, dare I say, Kalu in every room of the house. Truly the darkest timeline. I would smack some people repeatedly if I had to watch Caillou everywhere I went. You guys belong over at r/Kalu8, a shining light in the darkness. I sat at my dining room table under a very dim fan light that I could have sworn used to be brighter a year ago reading your post. I got up and hunted down the fan remote stuck forgotten in a drawer and replaced the batteries. There was not obvious slider for a dimmer, but I just held the light button down and what do you know, the light got a lot brighter. It is fair to say that your post has brightened my life. Thanks. Long-term troll, your wife knew about it and was waiting for you to finally try to fix it. It's Raymond's suitcase on the stairs from Everybody Loves Raymond. When I watched that episode as a young teen, I had no idea how much I would relate to it 7 years into marriage. I watched Malcolm in the Middle when it was originally on Fox. I was like 15 when it debuted. Totally related to Malcolm. Rewatched it in 2017 when it was on Netflix, saw the whole series from Hal's perspective. Very interesting flip. Simpsons had the same shift. Early episodes revolved around Bart and the target audience was kids and teens. As the audience grew older, the focus has now shifted to Homer a lot more. I don't think it was necessarily the same shift. The show didn't really change its focus that much. I just saw all their problems through a homeowner's / working adult / father's perspective the second time.
Something else might have been set to dim too. I know it's a matter or preference, but I find bright overhead lights offensive and prefer lamp light at home. Lamps are fun and the shades give lighting a character, warmth, or color. I feel uncomfortable when I go to someone's house and they have 3 100-watt light bulbs in the overhead like a fucking interrogation room. I don't want to be able to see inside of your ear hole from across the room. Chill it out. Totally agree, but your username is giving me nightmares. Have an upvote anyway. Thanks biker. Is it like motorcycle bike or bike bicycle? Motorcycle, believe me, I'd look just a little out of place on a bicycle. Haha, I can only imagine. True story, I installed a food disposal years ago and forgot to knock out a plastic piece to hook to the water line. The first time the dishwasher ran after that it didn't drain. I thought the dishwasher went bad too and didn't replace it for a year and washed dishes by hand. When I bought a new dishwasher and went to hook it up to the water line, I discovered my mistake. I never told my wife what the real problem was. LOL. I work for an appliance repair company. You have no idea how common that is. At least you didn't yell and scream at whoever sold it to you. Ever seen a toilet flush when the installer doesn't knock the plastic on the flange out before setting the toilet? Oh god damn it. I read that in Dee's voice. Your night vision ability improved, so this isn't a fuck up. Or he fucked up his eyes trying to see stuff in dark. I don't think that's actually a thing. That's what darkness wants you to think. Turning my lights off to become a Sith BRB. Can I join you? I hear it's more fun with a friend. Always two there are, no more, no less. A master and an apprentice. The part I love most is that it's been 6 years. Like a month would get a slight chuckle, a year would see me expel air from my nose, but 6 years? I was 14 6 years ago, I was in grade 9 and didn't even have a job. That is how long you have just accepted this misfortune of having no overhead bedroom light only to find out it's dimmable. What was your reaction? I'd expect at this point it wouldn't even be one of anger, just a defeated, quiet, "You've got to be kidding me." 6 years. That's longer than I had been in college. What brand of light bulbs did he use? Asking the real questions. This merits a slow clap. But hey, you did figure it out in the end. Asterisk, sorry for the pun, couldn't resist. Edit, oh wow, my first silver and my karma doubled in 2 hours. Thank you people. Edit 2, duh. That's not silver. Thanks for the platinum. Brightened my day at least. Lit me up inside. The sad thing is, you're not an idiot. You're a normal, functioning human being. This is the sort of thing that everybody does. How did we ever manage to build skyscrapers? How did we go to the moon? How did we make a space B&B for scientists? The abnormal freak geniuses did those things. The rest of struggle with dimmable lights. I mean, the abnormal freak geniuses probably also struggle with the lights too. Yeah, but their struggle with light is figuring out how to travel faster than it. Think about any old professor who has won a Nobel Prize and still struggles with projector settings.